Hello and welcome to Hero Seas Season 9. I'm JL Thomas and this is an Uber Boss Guide to Damien. We're at the Temple of Zamzhou at Altar of Lost Souls, and before we get into the encounter and begin the boss fight, let's go over some of our basic skills, attribute points, and gear we have equipped, and I'll explain to you the mechanics of how we get around Damien's attacks so you'll be prepared for this encounter. So we're going to start with our inventory and our gear. We just have some relics here that have been upgraded a few times. Twin Blade, Holy Bible, Light Katana, Razor Blade, and a Poison Globe relic. We got Death's Grasp for our gloves. Grimbone Scythe. We could socket it if we chose to, but we're going here a little bit under-geared. Mask of the Beyond. Lost Deity's Authority. Dragon Steel Ray. And we have a few potions. We're using Quick Step for boots, and for our charmed inventory we haven't changed it up much except for a little bit of attack rating, and we have some mana regen to help us. We have defense versus missiles, and this is going to play a part in if we get hit by any projectiles, including death rattles in game. So you're going to see a team of defense versus missiles here with some of our charms. We have a little bit hit faster, hit recovery because it wouldn't hurt. And a little bit of mana replenishment at 31%, 205 mana. Our charms and our trinkets are still pretty basic, but this is doable. The key here is good movement. We need optimization for being aware, not so much as what we're doing is going to matter is where we are as far as our placement and position in this fight. Damien's going to start summoning these pools of agony, and we don't want to get hit by his agony in conjunction with any of his other abilities. We get tagged, we get hit by these debuffs, and there'll be these masks, these Damien heads of agony that spawn that we're going to need to get rid of. They're going to chain burst, and they're going to shoot beams of light toward us in multiple directions depending on where we are. They're going to be randomized, and there are many of them. As he gets to the threshold of about 30%, 35%, 20, 25%, he spawns them more frequently, and in more duration there are more of these heads that spawn as he continues with these death rattles that he spews around in a circular counterclockwise or even clockwise motion. We're going to need to pay attention to not just our positioning, but any cues that we get from Damien as he's summoning these abilities. And just before we start, let's just take an overview of our strength here at 220, energy at 75, vitality at 105. We have a little bit of defensive ability with some resistances here. Arcane resistance is going to help us here in this instance. He does do arcane damage, so you do want to have a little bit of everything as a resistance here. Some physical damage could help you with armor, so don't neglect it. We got it in our incantation tree. We got some armor, so we made up for it. And in an incantation tree, we have here a few nodes where we increased our damage and physical damage, and this is a really nice addition to Season 9, the Incantation Tree as well as the Ethereal Tree. I wanted to show you this briefly so that you can see we have some resistances and some defense. And we also got some damage reduction and heal over time. With that being said, we're prepared as much as we can be for this encounter. Let's begin the Uber boss fight with Damien. When we begin the encounter, he's going to immediately start with these unleashed agony, these death rattles right here. Then we have these pools of agony and these fractured egos, which we're going to be talking about quite frequently because we're going to need to get rid of them as soon as possible. And we're going to try to need to do as much as we can to evade all these attacks when possible. gonna summon little heads that look like Damien heads in just a moment. As it gets to around 35% of his HP. Here it is. And those are the blood surges, those beams of red light that you see. Those are blood surges that we're going to need to dodge. And they will fire until we get rid of them, so we want to limit them as much as possible, as well as avoid the fractured egos, as well as these rattles and the unleashed agony attacks. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. This has been an Uber boss guide to Damien at the Altar of Lost Souls. As long as we're avoiding those attacks, we're staying aware. Not much movement speed is required for this one. It's just awareness and positioning. Thank you for tuning in. If you found this video helpful, insightful in some way, consider leaving us a comment, or maybe even liking or subscribing a video in the future. Thank you so much for staying tuned and watching the video. Till next time, everyone. Hope to see you in another video, or maybe even in Hero Siege.